with all signs pointing to Canada's Wonderland and King's Dominion to both open up brand new B&M launch coasters in 2025, the focus now has to be turned to which other Cedar Fair park could be opening a new coaster in 2025, and most importantly, how large will it be? I'm going to go over every Cedar Fair park with you and share with you the likelihood of them adding a new coaster in 2025. Then explain why the merger will have no impact whatsoever on 2025's new ride capital. My name is Brandon and welcome to Theme Park Predictions and Happy New Year, and I hope 2024 is your best year yet. So I'm going to go over every Cedar Fair park that's not opening up a new coaster in 2024 and share with you if there's any chance at all of them adding a coaster. Starting off with the parks that have zero chance of opening up a new coaster in 2025. Worlds of Fun. And the biggest reason why is this park, located just outside of Kansas City, does not need a new coaster every 2 or 3 years. Instead, I project every 5 or 6 years, we could see Worlds of Fun get a new coaster. What about Dorney Park? I mean, not a chance because Iron Menace is opening up in 2024, so there's zero chance that this park will be adding a new coaster the year following Iron Menace. Now let's talk about the parks where it's possible but very doubtful. Cedar Point. They're opening up Top Thrill 2 in 2024. I highly doubt that they're going to invest in a large-scale coaster for 2025. From a marketing perspective, that makes zero sense at all because the wave and the hype, or the hype wave with Top Thrill 2, is going to last a few years at least. So I feel like they have no interest of adding a major coaster in 2025, and rightfully so. But what about Michigan's Adventure? Since owning this park for 20 plus years now, Cedar Fair has yet to install any type of major coaster. Is 2025 the year? I highly doubt it, but I do feel as if, and I've said in past videos, by 2030, Michigan's Adventure will be opening up a brand new major coaster, and I'm excited for when the time comes. I just don't see it being 2025. What about my home park, Carowinds? Because after all, it's been since 2019, and that's Copperhead's strike. So they went 2010 Intimidator, 2015 Fury, 2019 Copperhead. It's going to be 2025 soon, and yet there's no coaster. I don't see, from what I'm hearing, 2025 is going to be the water ride. So if it is a coaster, it's going to be a water-based ride that has the coaster features like a water coaster or a mock power splash, something along those lines. However, I did hear a rumor that we could be potentially, and I really hope this does come true, of a brand new Family Vekoma Boomerang coaster coming to Carowinds, possibly 2025. Heading out west for California's Great America, and with this park's future being up in the air, I do not see Cedar Fair investing in any type of major money into this park as far as a new coaster goes. So probably not happening, even though crazier things have happened. Heading to Southern California for Knott's Berry Farm. Now this is very intriguing because we know they are very past due for a new coaster, and maybe Montezuma's Revenge makes a comeback and does reopen then. Maybe not. I could very well see Knott's opening up a coaster in 2025. I just don't think it's very likely. I think 2026 or 27 will be the year for Knott's Berry Farm's next major coaster. And that leaves us with 2 parks left. And for Kings Island, in 2024, they're opening up their brand new Family Vekoma Boomerang coaster, which looks great and is going to do great things for the park. Now the bad news is the Vortex plot still exists, and it's massive. There's so many cool things and different things Kings Island can do with this area. Will it be 2025? I honestly do not think so. I think 2026, maybe 2027. I don't think they're going to go longer than 2026. That's the good news. Now, the only reason why I feel like Kings Island could potentially get a new coaster in 2025 is because Cedar Point is not going to get a new coaster in 2025. So to alternate years, that would be really smart in my opinion. but I just feel like there's one other park out there in the Cedar Fair chain that has a better shot at getting a new coaster in 2025. Now, before I share that park, if you're not following my second channel, Theme Park Recommendations, then please do me a favor and become my newest subscriber over there. All my theme park related helpful tips and guide videos are now on that platform, including my new Busch Gardens Williamsburg Insider Guide that was just released. So be sure to check out Theme Park Recommendations. Now, let's talk about that last park, because it is Valleyfair. Now, Valleyfair is a very interesting park, and I've been covering it now for about 2 or 3 years as far as where the park can build a new coaster. Obviously, the Dinosaurs Alive area in the front of the park makes all the sense in the world, and I've always have said there's 3 types of coasters that would really fit well here. And I mentioned in the past, like a Gerstlauer Infinity Coaster, something like Hang Time at Knott's Berry Farm, but maybe a little bit smaller. I would also love to see an RMC Cinderella coaster open up in this area, as well as a few others. But now, things have changed. Cedar Fair has kind of shifted who they work with since my original predictions. So it's very interesting for Valleyfair because there's a lot of different types of rides that they can go with. Now, one of them, and I've said this from the start, would be a Vekoma suspended thrill coaster. These things look phenomenal, and I'm so excited that Vekoma is slowly building more of these because they offer airtime inversions and some really cool, wicked twisted transitions, and they cost a lot less than your typical B&M inverted coaster does. And with Canada's Wonderland and King's Dominion both rumored to get B&M launch coasters in 2025, how much room is left in Cedar Fair's budget for new coasters? Because I do not necessarily see a major B&M coming to this park. However, I really do wish, and I think a B&M dive coaster, something like Iron Menace, will do phenomenal at Valleyfair. I just don't know, again, if they have enough money in their budget for 2025 for that type of ride. So I really think a Vekoma suspended thrill coaster will do really good for the park because it could definitely benefit from a ride that features inversions, since the park has only had one coaster in the history of the entire park to flip riders upside down, and that's the Aero Corkscrew. So whatever's coming next has to feature inversions. But here's the thought. With Cedar Fair and Zamperla working together a lot more now, what if we would see a brand new custom designed layout from Zamperla for a new launch coaster coming to the park? This type of ride would do great for Valleyfair and give the park a modern coaster that features inversions and a bunch of other cool transitions. And we know Zamperla can build some really cool looking layouts and coasters. So with Zamperla and Cedar Fair like this right now, I really feel like 2025 or 2026, we're going to see a coaster or two come from Zamperla that's going to open up at one of the Cedar Fair parks. But the good news is, Valleyfair, your time is so close. Just be patient, because I really feel like 2025 is your year. Now, if it's not, 2026, watch out. All signs are pointing to Valleyfair opening up a new coaster. Now, you might be wondering, how does the Six Flags and Cedar Fair merger affect 2025, or will it? And here's the good news. It's going to have very little effect on major coasters and major rides for 2025, and here is why. It's really quite simple. As of January 2024, the merger is not even completed yet. So whatever these parks are planning, major ride-wise, it's already been in the works. Now, when a park adds a major coaster, let's say, for example, Iron Menace, a B&M dive coaster, that type of ride has been in the works for Dorney Park for at least 2 years now. So whatever major coasters are coming in 2025 to parks all across the world, I guarantee you that project's already in the works and will open up in 2025. Which is great news for both the Six Flags parks and the current Cedar Fair parks. Now, if you're curious why I graded Top Thrill 2 and Iron Menace very low in this video right here, then you're going to want to check out how I grade every 2024 major coaster. So what are your thoughts on Cedar Fair 2025? Be sure to let me know in the comments. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Remember to smile today, think positive, and keep riding coasters.